What's going on, Muddied Waters viewers? I am here with my friend Adam the Freeman, and we are here to do something a little in-depth for you today that some of you have asked about.
Yeah, and obviously if anybody knows about what Matt drinks on almost every single episode of the Muddy Waters of Freedom, it's Kava, and we've got a wide variety of items here on the table. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we got going on here?
So what we're going to do is we're going to make Kava the easiest way that you can make Kava at home. So we have Kava that is very similar to what the packaging would look like when you receive it. A gallon of water, a bucket, glasses to drink it in, and pantyhose for a strainer. You would also need 1 cup, which is we preloaded with Kava, which is why I'm being kind of careful with it. And it's really easy to make.
And where's the Kava from again?
This Kava is from Vanuatu. It's from the island of Vanuatu. The company we got it from is Nakamal at Home. Nakamal at Home, Nakamalate.
Glad you spelled it, because I definitely wouldn't have been able to.
Right.
Definitely one of the highest rated vendors that you could possibly buy Kava from, hands down for sure.
Without question, the best Kava on the market. So if you can help me out, if you can open up.
So what we have here is some knee highs, a 10-pair value pack of pantyhose. And what does this do for the whole process here? So
you use that just as your basic strainer. If you have strainer bags or things like that at home,
right?
Sure. If you have strainer bags at home, those are easier to use, but this is something that most people use, and it has a small enough micron count that it will hold most of the Kava inside while allowing you to strain out all the stuff that you want from it. Which are called Kava lactones.
Right, and I'm guessing basically because you don't necessarily want all the sediment, you don't want to drink the actual powder itself, and it doesn't dissolve within the water, so you want to actually filter that out and brew it almost like a tea.
Correct.
With cold water. All right, so
you just take 1 cup of Kava, and this is just a general guideline, is 1 cup. You may want more, you may want less. Depending on how much Kava you drink. And Kava is interesting because when you first start drinking it, you don't really feel the effects of it, but the longer you drink it, the less it takes to feel the effects.
And they call it a reverse tolerance, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe it for a long time, but it's a real thing. So you just have your Kava and it's inside the pantyhose. I tie it, you don't have to. And then you just take a gallon of filtered or purified distilled RO water. I would recommend not tap, and you just pour it in. And you want to make sure that you are soaking the Kava.
Yeah, just fully saturating it. This sucker swells up, huh?
Yeah, real quick. And the style that we are using to make this Kava is the Fijian style. And that's where you have the Kava inside a strainer bag and put the entire strainer bag in water. And then I did wash my hands before this.
I'd hope so.
Yeah. You just got to really get in there and you want to knead it and go at the Kava. You want to try to get all of the Kava lactones to mix with the water.
And for some of the viewers that may or may not be familiar with Kava, Matt, what are some of the benefits for this Pacific Island drink?
So it's a root, so everybody knows that you're drinking, and it comes from a root of the Kava plant. And once it's ground up and pulverized into a very fine powder, you have Kava. And when you drink it, it promotes relaxation. It can aid with those kind of sleepless nights. It has a numbing tendency, so it will.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna numb your mouth.
Yeah, definitely. The first time that I ever had Kava, I remember somebody messing with me saying that I had like a reaction to it because I was like, well, my mouth feels numb, but it's apparently like a local anesthetic. Or,
right, local.
Is that right?
No, anesthetic.
Anesthetic. Yeah.
Right, not an anesthetic. It's like an anesthetic. But when you're doing it, because it gives you relaxation, and there are different kinds of Kava. depending on where from the root it comes from. The kava we are promoting is stone. The kava we are making is white sand. And the white sand is going to give you more of a mind sort of relaxation. It really does help with focus in smaller quantities. In larger quantities, it will destroy that focus very quickly.
Yeah, and one thing that I also like to make special note of with kava and the different variants of it, there is a very easily defined palate that you can develop with it. I mean, like stone as an example is very pungent, stronger tasting, stronger smelling, very peppery, as where the white sand is I mean, in my opinion, much easier to drink.
Oh, it's definitely
very
easier
smooth,
to drink.
And then less pungent and less peppery. And then, so about how long do you typically do that for?
So, I typically do it just for a few minutes. When you are doing it, if you look at the color of the kava that is coming out of the strainer bag, you'll see that it gets lighter as you are doing it.
Right, like that?
Yeah. So once you get it to the point where it's no longer coming out as a full color and it's kind of opaque,
right,
that's when you know you're pretty much done. So only a couple of minutes to do, and then you're done. That's it. And then
that's simple enough, right?
Yeah, it's basically really simple. And then you pour it into whatever your preferred method of drinking is.
Or whatever your available method of drinking is.
Yeah, or whatever the available. Because normally, as you see on the show, I drink it in much larger quantities than this. And then traditionally what you do is you would say bula, which is a Fijian greeting for to long life and good health. As we say on the show, though, bula vanaka means the exact same thing. So, bula vanaka.
Bula vanaka.
Thank you all. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any other questions, let us know, and we will include the links in our show notes.